Welcome to Learn Commerce PU online classes. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Welcome to our second PU Computer Science online classes. In last class, we already learnt some important concept about our inheritance, or maybe we can say that the meaning of inheritance, base class, derived class, and some of the advantages of inheritance, and also the visibility mode. Some of the visibility mode are public, private, protected, and we know that why, because for each visibility some of the rules going to apply. So everything we learned in our last class, and also we can say that the types of inheritance, that is or that are single inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, hybrid inheritance, with the suitable example of single inheritance. Now in this class we are going to study about our relationship between classes. Some of the relationship we are going to create some classes, and here we are going to create all those classes by using which class. So that means it is called as the relationship between classes, or simply we can say about our virtual base classes. Now what about the virtual base classes? So here we can say that why, because here one class is that the first class name is the A class, so it is the base class. Okay, so base class A, and second one is about our derived class B, get one copy of the base class data, and second one is derived class C, also get one copy of the base class data. Maybe some confusion, why, because just only I started about the base class A, later was I completed the derived class B. So in this example just I want to tell about one class is that the base class is that by using such a base class we constructed two derived classes. The name of the derived classes are, one is the B, second one is the C here. So why, because the B and C constructed by using the A class, so just it getting one copy of the base class data, that means one copy of the base class A. Clear this point here? So get, that means our derived class B get one copy of the base class data, and not just only the class B get one copy of the base class data, the derived class C also get only one copy of the base class data. Clear this point here? Why, because these two classes are constructed by using the base class. The name of the base class is called as the A here. And last one class is that the name of the class is the derived class D. The derived class D, but we can say that get two copy of the base class data. That means we can say that such a derived class D is constructed by using two base classes. The base classes are, one is the B, second one is the C here. So we can say that, but also I want to tell about this one, the each and everything, the diagram, whatever the diagram I used here by using the explanation. So consider a situation where the program design would require one base class, call it A. Clear this point here? When you are going to complete the virtual base classes, first of all we need to construct the base class, and here I used the base class name, that is the A here. That means where the program design would require one base class, that is call it as the A here, and two derived classes, namely the two derived classes are, one is the B, second one is the C here, and such derived classes which are inherited from base class A. Clear this point here? That means here two derived classes are there here, and such derived classes we constructed by using the base class. The base class name is the A here, and for the one more derived class is that the name of the derived class is the D here, but such a D is created by using the B and see here. So when you are going to view the diagram, you can see why, because here 4 classes are there. The base class A we need, why, because by using the base class A we are going to construct 2 derived classes. The derived classes are B and C here. Clear this point here, B and C. Because of this reason, the B and C get one copy of the base class data, that is called as the A. And further one more derived class is that, the name of the derived class is the D here, and such derived class D is created by using the derived class B and C. So because of this reason, get 2 copy of the base class data. Or we can say in public inheritance, why, because we know the rule of the public inheritance. In public inheritance of the base class, we can shift it to anywhere, correct no here. So in public inheritance, the derived class, that means the B and C, inherit. The meaning of inherit means sharing, or get one copy of the base class data, correct no in this case here. Why, because I am going to use the visibility mode in this diagram, or in this example. The visibility mode is the public here, and we already know the rule of the public mode here, or the public inheritance. The public of the base class is possible to shift to anywhere, correct no here, the anywhere in this case here. So we can say that in public inheritance, the B and C, the classes get one copy of the base class data here, and whereas the derived class D here, that is created from B and C, because of this reason get 2 copy of the base class data. Clear this point here, 2 copy of the base class data. And later words I want to tell, why, because we are in the concept of the virtual base classes. Still here I didn't tell about the virtual base classes. Still here whatever I completed, just I said about here some of the classes are there, and the most important class is the base class K, and 2 classes we constructed by using the base class K here, and further one more derived class D is there, and such derived class D is constructed by using the base class, that is the B and the C here. Still here just only I completed about in our diagram. And later words I want to tell, now suppose the derived class D, or the member function of the derived class D. Why, because in this case also some member data, member functions are there, member data and member functions are there, member data and member function, and also this class also have some of the member data and the member functions here. So now suppose the member function of the derived class D now want to access the data member of the base class, correct no? Why, because we know that the derived class D is created by using the classes like B and C. That means it going to get how many copy of the base class data? It going to get 2 copies of the base class data here. So now also the member function of the derived class D now want to access the data member of the 2 classes, the data member of the base classes. That means it's going to create some of the problem. It is called as an ambiguity problem here. It's going to create an ambiguity problem here. The problem is which of the 2 copy is to access first. Clear this point here will be encountered. Why, because this class is constructed by using our B as well as the C class. Clear this point here. Why, because this class constructed by using A, and this class also constructed by using A. That means it's going to get 1 copy only, but here it going to get 2 copy. Why, because such class is constructed by using B and C here. And now suppose the member function of the derived class D now want to access the data member of the base classes. That means it need to get 2 copies, the same copy, the common copy here. So when it going to get the common copy again and again here, some of the problem going to encounter. Such problem is called as the an ambiguity problem here. The problem is which of the 2 copy is to access first will be encountered. Clear this point here. So the compiler generate an error message when it going to get the copy, the same copy from B and the same copy from C here. That means there is no any changes, the both copy are the same here. On that time it going to get the same copy, the compiler will generate the error message for this problem. Clear this point here. For this problem here, to overcome this problem, the derived class B and C. So how we need to solve this problem? Why? Because one of the problem is going to encounter the problem is the ambiguity problem here. Then how we are going to solve such an ambiguity problem? How it possible to access just only one time all this copy here? So that means we can solve this problem, or to overcome this problem, the derived class B and C should be declared as the virtual base classes. Clear this point here? It should be declared. How it going to solve this problem? The ambiguity problem. That means whatever the class going to construct by using, so such classes are going to declared as the virtual base classes here. That means we can say that here. Now what are the classes we are going to get in virtual base classes? One is the class B and second one is the class C here. So we can say that finally, that means the derived class B and C should be declared as the virtual basic classes. Clear this point here? And I already written one example. So before going to tell the example of the virtual basic classes, let's see the meaning of the virtual basic classes here, or the definition of the virtual basic classes here. So we can say that when two or more object, but in this example I completed just only the two class. Here object means the class only, don't want any confusion. Object means class only here. So but in this example I completed just only the two class, but also sometime it possible to create by using one base class. It also possible to create the two or more derived classes, but in this example I completed two derived classes only. So when two or more objects are derived from a common base class, correct no kya? How we constructed the B and C here? Such class are constructed by using the common class. The common class that is called as the base class A here. Or we can say that here when two or more objects are derived from the common base class, we can prevent the multiple copy of the base class, correct no? That means we'll get the two copies here. On that time we'll get the two copies. I am going to tell about the virtual basic classes. So we can prevent the multiple copy of the base class being present in an object, correct no? Why? Because in this class also we'll get one copy, and in this class also we'll get one copy. That means it possible to get two copies, the same copies in this case here. So we can prevent the multiple copy of the base class being present in an class or being present in an object that are derived from those objects here. And finally, we can say that here by declaring the base class as the virtual base classes. Clear this point here? So here we can say that so finally that means such base classes are called as the virtual base classes. So clear this point here? What about the virtual base classes here? So we can say that again I am going to repeat about our virtual base classes. When we are going to declare the virtual base classes, when any classes going to create just by using two classes here, that means this classes, correct no? Here this class is constructed by using B and C. On that time we'll get two copies here. So when two or more objects are derived from the common base class, when two or more objects are derived from the common base class here, correct no? Here we can prevent the multiple copy of the base class being present in an object or derived from those object here, just by declaring the base class as the virtual base classes when it is going to inherit. Clear this point here? Such a base class are calling as the virtual base classes here. And this can be achieved. How it possible to declare the virtual base classes here? So this can be achieved by declaring the base class word with the name virtual. Clear this point here? Why? Because whatever I completed in diagram here, the same thing I completed by using the example here. Clear this point here? Now in this example we can say that why? Because class A is the base class, and here some of the code going to use, but in this code just it is a simple example of the virtual base classes. By using one class we are going to construct many derived classes here. So just one simple example of the virtual base classes. So class A here, and some of the coding going to apply, and we know that each class going to terminate by using the semicolon, and by using the class A base class class, we constructed one more class. The classes are the B and C here, but also by using the B and C, we constructed the last class. The name of the class is called as the D class here. That means the D class will getting to copy of the base class data here. When it going to get to copy the same copy, the common copy again and again, that means it's going to create some of the problem. The problem is the ambiguity problem here. The problem is which of the two copy is to access first here will be encountered here. Because of this reason, to overcome this problem here, when it going to get two copies, the same copy again and again here, the compiler generates some of the error message. Just to overcome from this problem, here we can say that some of the class, the derived class B and C should be declared as the virtual. So in this example, after completing, why? Because the class is the keyword and we know that the derived class name, I want to construct the new class, so I am using the derived class name as the B here, and later next one I already said, why? Because here two classes are constructed, correct? No, by using the common class here. So the classes are, one is the B and C. So just only the B and C should be declared as the virtual. Clear this point here? So I used after the colon, I used the virtual, and later next one public. Yeah, that means we should use the visibility mode also, not just only the virtual. It is the keyword, and you already know why I used the word virtual in this case. Why? Because I already said here some of the problem going to encountered here, and to overcome this problem, the derived class B and C should be declared as the virtual. By using such a virtual base classes, it possible to solve the virtual base class problems. Clear in this case? So the virtual public A and opening of the flower bracket, some of the code going to apply, and closing of flower bracket with the semicolon. We know that it going to terminate by using the semicolon here, and later next one, not just only the B, our next class name is the C here, and here we can say that it is the keyword, and second one is the derived class name. So derived class name is the C colon, not only the B, the C class also we need to declare as the virtual. Clear this point here? The virtual here, virtual, and after that the public here, public is the visibility mode. That means I want to access the feature of the base class A public side, okay, and A is the base class name, and some of the code going to occur, and some of the code going to write by using our next class, that is called as the C class here. And finally, that means by using the B and C, we constructed the last class. The name of the last class is the D class, okay here. So the class is the keyword, D is the derived class name colon, but not to use here virtual. Why? Because just only which classes are going to construct. So here we know that. Why? Because such a D class is going to construct by using the B and C. So just only the derived class B and C should be declared as the virtual only here. So directly we need to write the colon public B comma public C. Clear this part here? So in this way we are going to complete our virtual basic classes. So clear this point here? What about the virtual basic classes in this case here? Again I want to tell the lastly about our virtual basic classes in this case here. Why? Because here the base class name is the A here, and by using the A class we constructed two classes, one is the B and C. So we need to declare the B and C should be declared as the virtual base class, okay here, virtual base class. Why? Because by using the B and C we constructed one more class. The name of the class is the D here. And why we need to declare the virtual base class? Why? Because here no any problem, this class constructed by using base class and this class constructed by using base, but when you are going to create the class D, little bit the problem going to occur here. That means such class is constructed by using B and C here, so it not possible to access. Why? Because whatever the copy is there in B, the same copy will get in case of the C also, correct? No here in our C also here. Because of this reason we need to declare such class as the virtual base classes here. Clear this point here? So we know that about the virtual base class. Why? Because here one base class is that, name of the class is the A here, and two derived classes B and C. So such derived class B and C get one copy of the base class data, and the derived class D get two copy of the base class data. Why? Because such class D constructed or created from B and C. Clear this point here? So finally about the virtual base classes, and maybe I think it will be clear about to everyone here why we need to declare as the virtual base classes. Why? Because the D class constructed by using B and C here, and when you going to access the copy from B and C, that means we will get the same copy, the multiple copy, or maybe some problem which of the two copy is to access first will be encountered when it going to access the same copy again and again here. On that time the compiler generates some of the error message here. Just to overcome from this problem, we need to declare the derived class B and C as a virtual base classes here. Now let's see about our abstract classes. Why? Because it's very important question about our abstract class. So here some of the classes are there. I already completed here 1, 2, 3 and 4 classes. Now which class is called as the abstract class? So before going to tell the class or which class is called as the abstract class here, now let's see the meaning of the abstract class here. So we can say that an abstract class is the class, or an abstract class is one that is not used to create the objects. Clear this point here? That means it is the class, it like other classes only, but by using such class we are not going to create any objects. Clear this point here? So in this example we can say that the class A is called as the abstract class. Why? Because whatever or we can say that in last class I already used the use of single inheritance. One example I completed the use of single inheritance, and you should be remembered about this one. Why? Because while going to declare the object here I used the derived class name. Why? Because on that time I used the base class name as the ABC and the derived class name is the XYZ, but while going to after the void main, while going to create the object I used the XYZ derived class name here and not the base class name. Clear this point here? So we can say that here, that means here whatever the object I want to declare here, and such object I am going to declare by using the derived class, not the base class. Okay, so here we can say that, that means such object going to declare here. Clear this point here? It going to declare here by using our derived classes, or maybe sometime here or maybe sometime here. So we can say that. Why? Because we already know the meaning of the abstract class, and abstract class is the class, or it is the one, or we can say that that is not used to create the objects here. So an abstract class is designed only to act as a base class. Clear this point here? What's the meaning of the base class? That means the meaning of the base class is by using such class we are going to construct many derived classes here. So an abstract class is designed only to act as a base class, or in simple words we can say that to be inherited by many other classes. That means by using the base class we constructed many other classes here, or simply we can say that it is a design concept. Correct? No, here maybe if this such a class is not there, means is it possible to construct many derived classes? No, here. So we can say that it is a design concept in program development. While going to develop the program by applying the concept of the inheritance. Why? Because in our inheritance many classes are there. By using the base class we are constructing derived classes here. So like that it going to apply all those concepts here. So it is a design concept in program development. Okay here, and provide the base upon which the other classes may be built here. Why? Because it providing some of the base here. Okay, some foundation here. By using such base we are going to build up many other derived classes here. So this is the meaning about our abstract class. Okay, it is the meaning of the abstract class here. So in this example finally we can say that in previous or in this example we can say that the class A is an example of the abstract classes here. That means here the one abstract class, and what's the meaning of the abstract class? Why? Because by using the class A, since such class is not using to create the objects, the meaning of the abstract class, we can say an abstract class is a class here, and such class, or by using such class we are not going to create any objects. Clear this point here? That means the object whatever is that, maybe one base class is that, by using the base class we constructed the derived class, but we are going to declare the object by using the derived class, not the base class. So in this example we are not going to declare the object by using the class K. Whatever the object is that, going to declare maybe by using the B, C, otherwise the D here. So clear this point here. So this is the meaning about our abstract class here. So the class A is an abstract class since it was not used to create the objects. Thank you.